welcome back to the channel. So as mentioned in my last vlog, and if you haven't watched it, you can go back and look at all of my vlogs. However, we were talking about surviving the holidays with people that you, or I said in difficult situations, but it's kind of like surviving the holidays when you're around certain family members you may not want to be around. So that was sort of the easy part. And you know, I haven't really avoided putting this vlog off, but I don't want this vlog to be a sad vlog, okay? So this one is basically how are you supposed to get through the holidays when you've lost your loved ones, okay? It's never an easy topic to cover, and I don't want this to be a really heavy and a sad vlog. So I see this all the time. It's not just because this is being recorded, so next week will actually be Thanksgiving, and it becomes very increasingly difficult for people during the holiday months for several reasons, okay? And I see it all the time though, all year with all of my clients. They have a hard time getting through a birthday or a vacation in the summer because they used to travel with their parents or grandparents. So it becomes increasingly harder for people to try to drudge through the holidays, okay? And it's not about drudging through it, it's about creating a new normal, okay? And that's never easy, and it is something that is going to take practice, and it's going to take over time, basically. But you have to continue on your holiday tradition. Let's say you and grandma made chocolate chip cookies, and the holiday's coming, and she's only been gone a couple months, and you're like, okay, I'm good. Like, I don't even know how I'm gonna get through this holiday, but I know I'm not gonna be making chocolate chip cookies because it's gonna be too hard. So that's actually the wrong approach to take. So ideally, in order to get through and survive these holidays and every day that you wake up and that you're missing someone, you continue on the traditions that you did when they were in present form, when they were here, when they were alive, okay? And yes, it's gonna be a little difficult, but instead of looking at it as, oh my gosh, grandma's not here, why can't she be here? I miss her so much. It becomes very sad and very heavy. And of course, you're allowed to feel that way. I'm not telling you to be like, whatever, like Grams is gone, but we're gonna eat anyway. I mean, I'm not telling you to be so nonchalant about it, but what I am saying is you still can do the things that you did with grandma because you know that they're around from time to time. That's just how that works. So instead of avoiding things, you have to actually continue to do what you would normally do with them, and you just sort of make it a new normal. Maybe add a little something. Maybe you do the cookies and you do a little something else. So then you're adding a new tradition, okay? Of course, it's gonna be sad. You're allowed to be sad, but what you're not allowed to do is do what my sister did. Now, my sister has now been crossed over for about a year and a half. And we share the same mother, and our mother passed away when I was almost 14, and she never fully recovered from that, like ever, okay? Like, yeah, she got up, she went to the doctor, she went to the store, she did all of those things, but she was never fully recovered from it. She stayed stuck. She stayed in that area of, I really miss mom so much, to the point where we all miss, I mean, I miss my mom. I miss a lot of people who've crossed over, but she stayed stuck there. And it was so hard for her. And the older that she got, the more reclusive that she got, and the more sad she got, which created a lot of depression, a lot of other things. So it's not healthy to stay in that area where you feel like once they've crossed, it just ends, like things just end, okay? Unfortunately for you, you're still left here. They're crossed over, they're over there, and you're still here, and you're still trying to figure out what that looks like. That's why I always tell people it's always important to be centered for yourself. It's always important to know who you are, and that can take years to figure out. Heck, I'm still figuring out parts of that, right? So it's hard for you to invest all of your time in another human. So let's say it was your grandmother, because your grandmother or whomever had your back. You know, anything can happen at any given time. I mean, we see that in the world that we live in today. You can be anywhere and not be, okay? So you can go into a church, you can go for a walk in New York City, you can go to a concert, you can just be walking down the street. At any given time, anything can go on. So you can't put so much stock in just, I'm so involved with all of these people that now when they cross, because eventually everybody does, okay? When they cross, you're lost. You're like, now what do I do? So it's so important that in your life, even when you're married and you have children and you have your family, that it's important that you do create that relationship with yourself and that you're able to say, hey, listen, I'm really going to miss this person, but I know that I still have to function. So you do have to take time and carve out for yourself, because then it makes their crossing not easier, but kind of. If you're so concentrated on your people not being there in physical form, you're missing out on a lot of other things that are going on around you and the people that are there. So it's a hard balancing act, I guess, per se, because you're allowed to be sad. Carve out a good 15 minutes where you can just have your moment. You can cry it out, you can scream it out, you can be as sad as you want to be. Give yourself those first 15 minutes, or take 2 15-minute breaks. But please remember that if you stop your activity, if you stop dinner, if you decide, I'm not going to do this anymore because my mom's not here, my uncle's not here, my brother, my husband, whatever the case may be, if you stop that is not really helping or encouraging anybody to be around you. It's just not. So it's one of those things where people say, gosh, it's so difficult. And I know for some of my clients and some of them watching this, actually, this is your first year without your people. And it's going to be hard for you. It absolutely is. But just remember, you're not really alone, okay? Your people don't leave you forever. It's just they're not there in physical form. So give yourself an opportunity. Remember to talk out loud. Give yourself an opportunity to sit there and be with them. And, you know, when you talk to your people who've crossed over, please remember it's not always about being so sad, like, I wish you were here, and when you were here this happened, and I miss you for doing this. And remember, it's still a happy time. And a lot of those wonderful traditions that you have now that maybe your mom and dad gave you, or your mom because she did this, and, you know, she gave you those traditions, and that's kind of, now it's your turn to kind of take that ball, and now you're the head of the family, and it's your turn to kind of pass that down. And that's just kind of how life as we know it works. So to sum it up for you, give yourself a few minutes that day to go ahead and just be super sad. You're allowed to be, okay? And then from there, I need you to pull yourself out of that, okay? That's step 1. Step 2 is whatever you did with them, continue to do it, and then add something to it. Add something to make it just a little bit more special, or just a little bit different, okay? But it's a new tradition that you're going to carry on with you and, let's say, your mom. The third thing is this. Remember, everybody mourns different. Everybody's going to deal with it different. Some people may act like it's all good, like it never happened. Don't judge them, because that's how they respond to it. No two people are going to mourn the same, and you're not right and they're not right. It's just how you mourn. I share that because the third thing is so important. The third step, the third tip is so important, because you're still going to be around these people who are mourning differently. Remember, give them their space, but don't take on their stuff. I put together this really nice blog of some lovely submissions of people and their family members that I'm going to share with you. So please stay tuned, enjoy the upbeat music, like my videos, subscribe, hit the bell in the corner for notification, and I'll see you next time.